Black Power, peace and love. Hotep, how you doing? Back at you with another episode of Khemetic Ascendants. Here to bring you the truth, unadulterated, without without being apologetic. We got a special show today. Today we're gonna get into some real history. You know, I have a special guest, a brother that I grew up with. You know, and we came up out of our ignorance together. You know, I can say all I can say about the brother, but I'm gonna just introduce him. This is brother Divine Lord Sekhem, and he's an author. You know what I'm saying? And we about to just dive into one of this masterpiece. I think that all of us should go out and get this book. But like I said, I can say all I can say about the brother. I'm gonna let the brother introduce himself. Brother, what's going on?
Peace, Hotep, peace and Black Power.
That's right. So this book you wrote, tell us about it. Let's just dive in. At least the preface. You know how you get a book and you wanna fill the book out without having to read it, you turn it over. So brother just gonna give us the back page of what the book is about.
Peace, world. I'm the author of Children of the Stars, Seeds of an Eternal Legacy. Children of the Stars, Seeds of an Eternal Legacy. This deals with the knowledge of who and what is God based on an African experience, the African perspective. Children of the Stars, it deals with the science of who and what is the original man. The original man was created in Africa as science has revealed, archaeology revealed. Wow. So in understanding these actual facts of how the creator of the universe created the first man in Africa, and the first man and first woman can't have man without woman.
That's
you understand what I'm saying?
Divine balance. That's right.
However, the science of us wanting to know and understand who and what is the creator, we have to know and understand that through the original man and the original woman who was created in Africa. You understand? Mm-hmm. So what Children of the Stars does, it deals with the science of who and what is the creator based on not only scientific evidence and experiments that, certain scientists have conducted, showing and proving how the creator is a supreme life force within ourselves, the realm of consciousness that controls our biological functions. Wow. But we also touch on certain religious scriptures from Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, you understand, because they all tie in with certain scientific facts that have been revealed, but the icing on the cake is our ancestral teachings. You understand? Our ancestral teachings is now being discovered that what our ancestors knew is in alignment with quantum physicists are discovering today. Our ancestors, you understand, when they talked about Ra being vital life force, Shu, the air, Tefnu and all of that. So it just shows and proves that just how science have discovered the original man was created in Africa. That's right. The creator created the original man and the original woman in Africa. It was this original man and original woman in Africa who experienced the knowledge of who and what is God. That's right. So Children of the Stars, it takes you to the origin of who and what is the creator, how the universe was created, who and what is the original man, and what was their knowledge and experience of the creator, and then it goes into the African origin of civilization.
That's right. Okay, yes. Well, I looked at the book myself, and I see that, you have a lot of references. He got a lot of our scholars. He referenced a lot of our scholars in this book. But what I want to ask you is, if you could pick three of them, who was the main three inspirations?
Why would you do that?
I mean, because I see a lot of them in there, but if you could say the main three.
I'm going to be honest, I don't know why you even do that. I mean, I mean, I can do it, but then it's like I'm doing a real great disservice, you understand?
No, that's right.
But the Dr. Ben,
Ashe,
Chancellor Williams, and
Ashe.
Oh boy, how you doing this to me, bro?
Ashe.
I'm gonna pick Dr. Raul Nefer Amen.
Okay. Now it's a reason why we do this, right? Now I asked him this so that when you pick up the book, you know where his mentality coming from. If you know those three mega giants, those three mega minds, then you can pretty much understand the basis of this book and what you're gonna get out of it. I don't even want to call it a book. I'm gonna call it a masterpiece. You know what I'm saying? The thing that we know is when you put it in stone, i.e. book, it'll live forever. So our ancestors, future generation will pick up this book and reciprocate the information out of it. But if I'm just, just learning, coming into consciousness, and I go to pick up your book, give me something that, I can ingest without being, too over our head. Sometimes we got a concept, or sometimes we got the need to overexpress ourselves to the point where our people sometimes don't get it. What chapter would you advise me to go to?
Well, first it would depends on the individual, but everybody is want to know their origin. Everybody want to know about the mystery of who and what is God. And like I say, we manifest this science where a baby can understand it.
That's right.
So you understand, we could deal with all that high science taken into the stars, but we strive to keep it on the level of the planet Earth. That's right. Where the seeds can understand it, and it can be given to them in a way where they can live it. So if I wanted to present something to somebody as far as knowing their origin in this world, knowing how they were created, you understand, I could take them to the second chapter. Okay. You understand? I could go to the first chapter. Like, I could take you anywhere you want through this whole book, but I could take a person to the second chapter in which we explain. They say, if you want to know how the universe was created, first you need to look at the womb of the woman. You understand? And particularly the womb of the black woman, because our ancestors always observed Nut, the black woman Nut, as they say she's a sky goddess, you understand? But she just represents those principles. But Nut, that's where heaven existed. But however, the same way we are created in our womb, the same way we created in our mother's womb is the same way the universe was created. And a simple way in which we explain that is how the same way scientists and our ancestors have discovered how the universe, the Big Bang Theory, the universe emanated from one atom. It was like a one atom exploded. Well, that's similar to the same process that happens when man and woman have sexual intercourse. Man explodes as one seed of life into the womb of the woman. Sure. And then when that seed of life, you understand, penetrate the ovum, like I say, so like they say, as above, so below. Whatever takes place on a higher level, it also takes place on the lower level. You just got to know how to apply it. Yes, so it's like I explain simple things like that. I present a little scientific language, but I try to keep things on a simple level. That's right. You understand? Another example is like the science of God. A lot of us, we've been taught. And we don't bash religion, you understand? We don't bash religion, but we tell the truth. In religion, we taught that God exists outside of us, but if you look in the religious scriptures, it teaches that God is inside of us. Right. Actually, if you just look at reality, you understand, you can see that the creator of the universe exists within us, because how else could we be living without the creative life force being within us? That's right. We create life through the power that's within us, that's right. All right? But another simple thing in which I will present to the majority of young brothers out in the streets is when you know and understand that God or the creator of the universe is within you. That's and right. Within all other life forms, you think twice about killing another human being or hurting another human being. Fact. You understand what I'm saying? Fact. This is the science about having God conscious, and this is why our ancestors, you understand, they placed the eye. If you look at the symbol of Osar, who they call Osiris, his hieroglyphic, that's what the Europeans called it, but it's called a metal netcher. But if you look at that symbol of Osiris, Osar is the African name, it's an eye on top of a throne. And what that symbolizes is that the mind or your consciousness is king over all things. It's just like they say, in religion, they say God sees all things. But I mean, no one spirit in the sky can see everything people on earth doing. But if you look at the mind within man, the mind within each and every one of us, it sees everything. You could tell the world a lie, but you can't lie to your mind. That's right. Your mind see every thought, every feeling, every inner activity that goes on in your body, your mind see. And if we knew and understand that the science of God was within us, like the scriptures say, the kingdom of heaven is within you, the spirit of God is within you, the Quran says it. If we knew these things and lived these things and practiced these things, it wouldn't be so much violence and hatred in the world.
Facts. Now, let me ask you this, when we read books, we want to really get into the mind of the author. Who is the author? Why don't you give, the future readers a little bio on who you is. How you get to this point? Is it my understanding you got 2 other books out? Yeah, definitely. You know what I'm saying? So, how did we get to this? How did we get conscious?
Well, first, it started with my father. Okay. My father, he grew up in the 60s in that Black Power movement. Most young black men in the 60s, he was a teenager. Right. He was either following Malcolm X or Martin Luther King. Right. He took the Malcolm X route, and you know, unfortunately, he also ended up going to prison. And when he went to prison, you know, that's when he did a lot of studying. And on one of his bids, he came home when I was 9.
Right.
So when he come home, he on the square. My mom, she ordered 2 boxes of pizza, 1 cheese, 1. I used to eat pork with my mom's all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, he was doing his bids and stuff. He was always there, but he ended up doing 1 bid when I was young. I was 6, and he came home when I was 9.
Okay.
So, however, you feel me? He comes home. My mom's ordered these 2 boxes of pizza. 1 is cheese, and the other's pepperoni. You know, I go straight to pepperoni.
Right.
He's like, yo, and she, while he was locked up, she always kept his library.
Okay.
So he had all the Dr. Benz, John Henrik Clark, Ivan Vance. He had all those books. You feel me?
Sir.
So long story short, he like, yo, what you eating the pork for? I'm like, what you mean? You know what I mean? I'm like, what you mean? He like, that's rat, cat, hog, and a dog.
Right.
That's the last time I ate pork. It was 1989 July.
Wow.
He came home July 26, I believe. You know what I'm saying? But that's the last time I ate pork. That's all he had. And then he showed me, he had the Malachi York books.
Okay.
Dr. What's his name?
York.
Eastside, whatever.
Yeah,
but Dr. York.
Eastside,
yeah. But he had them books. So when he showed me, you know, he provided a lot of graphics in them.
Yes.
So that was my first step. Like, I'm not eating pork. And then it just be like certain situations, like say if my mom's watching TV and it was, you know, my mom used to watch some little AMC joints where they be having the white prophets and my pop, yo, them not the real prophets, you know what I mean? Them devils. And I'm like, what? Yeah. He like the black man, original man. And I just, you know, he never said, yo, you got to study this. But when he'll be presenting certain things, like, you know, doing certain topics and stuff, I took a interest in it. Right. And I just was like, yo, what my pops know, that's what I would like to get into, like black history. Right. So just growing up, you know what I'm saying, you know, with him having, him being conscious, and his influence was mainly the Nation of Gods and Earths. Okay. So with him having that influence, and then my mom, she was just always higher on studying and reading. Yes. You know what I'm saying, like as far as with academics. So, and being that my pops always had them books around the house, and then growing up in Buffalo, you know, a lot of, it's God bodies here. So just growing up, you know, I was just always had that influence, but I didn't make a decision to actually say, yo, I'm gonna pursue knowledge of self until I turned like 16. And then when I turned like 16, that's when it was just like, you know, I just figured like, I don't want to be like everybody else. Like, I want to know, you know what I'm saying, my history and stuff. So that's how, basically my introduction into the, to the knowledge of self. That's how it all started. You feel me?
That's dope. Let me say this, man. You know, me and his brother from the same streets. You know what I'm saying? Like any given time, we could have been statistics, just like some of our closest friends. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta say, I'm proud of my bro. You know what I'm saying? Just like Pac said, the rose that grew from the concrete. I'm watching the both of us come up out of all of this with damaged petals, but still come up out of this. You know, this brother took the time to give us information that we can live with. You know, I've read some of the book, and I'm telling you, like, the joint is on point. You know what I mean? And for anybody to be where we was at, to now think like this, you know, has to be honored, has to be respected. You know what I mean? That's the little we can do. You know what I'm saying, in our community, because you know these are the teachers. We are the last legacy of those Dr. Benz and Dr. Clarks. We stand on their shoulders, and to see my brother, you know, being able to pick up the torch is just a phenomenal. It's just a phenomenal sight. But tell us when this book come out? How old is this book?
The book was released July. It was actually a month ago. Yes. It was released a month ago, in the middle of July. It took me like a year to write it.
Right. Interesting. Now you got, wow. How much the book go for?
It's $40.
You get a $40. It's Barnes and Nobles.
$40. It's available on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, online.
Yeah, why don't you
as well.
Get the people your Facebook, all the contact.
Yeah. My Facebook is Sekhem Asaru. That's SEKHEM ASARU. That's Sekhem Asaru. SEKHEM ASARU. That's the Facebook handle. Instagram, it's the same thing, but it's last name first, then first name. Asaru Sekhem, which is ASARU SEKHEM. That's Instagram handle. My YouTube channel is DLSMWP. D as in Divine, L as in Lord, S as in Sekhem, MWP.
Ashe. Y'all know what to do. Like, subscribe, share, all that, because again, like I said, it's up to us to do the work. My brother wrote a masterpiece, so it was only right for me to come and promote this. You can reach out to either one of us to get a copy of this book, but go out and get this book as soon as possible. We spend less, $40. We wipe our anus, we buy that, we spend toilet tissue. You know what I'm saying? This is something that's gonna live forever. Go ahead.
Nas say on 10 points, on 10 points, his album King's Disease. He said, we spend money on sneakers, but we need knowledge instead of sneakers. And that's one thing with this book. What I say, I want to be able to give something to people that they can carry with for their whole life.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? So, and this knowledge, like within this book, you know what I'm saying? It's the knowledge. It's like dealing with the science of everything in life, from the knowledge of who and what you are, knowing that you are a manifestation of God, to knowing how you was created, to knowing how civilization arose in Africa, and knowing just how our ancestors used that intelligence to build civilization back then. We can use the same type of intelligence now, you understand, to be very constructive instead of being felons, instead of being prisoners, instead of being parolees, instead of being dope boys, you know what I'm saying, instead of being murder victims or murderers, you understand?
Okay.
So that's the whole purpose of me presenting this knowledge. It took me 1 year to write this book, but it's based on 30 years of my research and experience.
Yes.
So,
right.
it's and like I say, you asked me to name 3 good scholars, man. I can't wait to see you, son.
Right.
We get out the studio, but
not even fair.
It's so many great scholars that played a role in influencing me, and basically all I'm doing is reintroducing the knowledge they already gave to
Most
us.
Definitely.
I'm not really presenting nothing new. I may be presenting something from a young I'm from the hood. The only difference, you know what I'm saying, I have college education.
Right.
I'm a tax professional. I'm a notary public. You understand? I'm a paralegal, but I grew up in the streets as well. So I'm not doing anything different that our great scholars is doing. You know what I'm saying? Only thing I'm doing is I took the information that they had and basically applied it in a new millennium context. But I stand on their shoulders. I stand on the shoulders of
So you saying this book is really written up for young people?
Oh, definitely, bro.
The street people who, you know what I'm saying?
The thugs.
It's easy to ingest.
Like, I don't know how much time we got, but basically, like, I explain how, if you look at the African names of the pharaohs, right? The African names of the pharaohs, like I'll give you an example, the name Tutankhamun. Not Tutankhamun. That's what the Europeans call him. His real name was Tutankhamun. Tutankhamun means the living image of Amen. Amen is the hidden. Amen is a aspect of the creator, and what Amen mean is the hidden. It's the hidden force within.
That's right.
So it's saying that when you say when this young boy king took the name Tutankhamun, he was saying, I'm the living image of the creator.
That's right.
Okay? Our ancestors always identified with themselves as being the creator. They didn't identify with themselves as being thugs, gangsters, niggas or bitches. We take names on now, like, yo, my name is Money, call me Money Ty. You know what I mean? Call me Killer B. You know what I mean? Call me Shooter Black.
Right.
Those names represent destruction. Them names don't really represent who we are. So in Children of the Stars, I basically show and prove how throughout the whole history of African civilization, before Africans and Native Americans, even Native Americans, they always named themselves according to the creator. But that's one thing I show and prove and deliver to our people, to raise our people beyond that negative mentality, so we'll stop looking at ourselves as being thugs and gangsters. Now we can start looking at ourselves as being a manifestation of the creator. This is in the nation of gods and earths is one of the prime examples. In the nation of gods and earth, or who people call 5 percenters, when you get knowledge of self, peace to the gods and earths, peace to the Father Allah. When you get knowledge of self, you take on a name that represents your intelligence and your level of character. You understand? So throughout the Children of the Stars, I not only just present the history of African civilization, but I also show how they had certain characteristics within themselves that we need to demonstrate today.
Okay.
You feel me? Because one of the reasons we in the situation we in is because we're not living like our ancestors. We live in, you know what I'm saying, slavery, when they put us in slavery, they basically destroyed the whole African person and they created a new person.
Right.
This is what you see now, the new person. When you see the young brothers and sisters out here just living the way we live in, that's what the white man created. The creator didn't. The creator. I explained in there how Akil said it from niggas and gods. God didn't make niggas. Yeah. Niggas was manufactured on the slave plantations of the USA.
It's true.
So I basically I gave it my life's worth. You know what I'm saying? And it's all thanks to them scholars and the experience that I had.
Right.
You feel me? To try to make our people better.
So let me ask you this. One thing that stick out to me about the book is the artwork. I mean,
shout out to Miss Monique Cunningham.
If you look at the artwork, there's so much going on in this. You know what I'm saying? And even in the artwork itself reads a story. How much hands did you have into this? Did you?
There's only one. No, her name is Miss Monique Cunningham, and her business is Mo's Graphic Art Design. But Miss Monique Cunningham, she came up. I told her. I just said, look, I'm writing a book based on our history, and it's going to be a book that's dealing with black culture. And she said, okay. Mm-hmm. And you know what I'm saying? I didn't really have to tell her much besides that.
Mm-hmm. Take a look at this. This cover. If you could zoom in real quick. I mean, it got DNA. It has Africa. It has the black man, woman, and child.
And if you look,
and it has Ra under the beat.
Those are the stars. Like Africa is made up of stars. You understand what I'm saying? Which, I mean, there's so many ways you can look at that. Like Africa is the origin of the original man. That's like, right. I mean, of course we know the universe was created first, then the planets was created, but life at the highest form of existence is the original man, is the black man. You can't get around that. I'm shattering that evolution theory in Children of Stars. I show and prove in Children of Stars how the whole evolutionary theory is a tactic of the white man to make us feel that, we know the first man was created in Africa, but the first man who was created in Africa was a half animal. He was a primate. He was a hominid. Yeah. Man didn't become supreme, intelligently developed until the white man came along. So when you deal with that evolutionary theory, you understand, all you're doing is promoting white supremacy, because now you're saying that, man existed in Africa in an undeveloped state for so many years. And then civilization didn't really come on board until the white man comes around. That's emphatically non-cipher. That's not right. Because, and I show and prove, like I say in there, Dr. Lloyd Pye, several scientists and archaeologists who have presented to the world how these skeletons that they present to us as the original man, these so-called primates and all of that, they were all put together. They never found the fully developed skeleton. They never even found a half, what they call them a half, they call them half built species. You know what I'm saying? Like a transformed, evolving species, where they're trying to say a monkey evolved into a man. They never found none of them.
You got like Homo sapiens,
like even that man of the wise. I mean, yes, you got Homo habilis, Homo erectus, and then Homo sapiens. They try to say at one time man walked like this and then he became upright. But the whole point is the creator is all wise and intelligence. If you look at the way we created in a womb, the creator don't make no mistakes in our creation. The mistakes or our genetic defects come from the way we live, things that we put in our bodies. That's what causes us to mutate. But the creator, which is the conscious source of intelligence that create all things, is all wise. It's perfect the way it creates.
That's right.
So you mean to try to tell me an all wise, perfect creator is going to create a half man hominid? They never found the half man hominid nowhere in the fossil layer and in the layers of the earth. Never. They put these things together. You know what I mean? But one thing, because I get real long-winded.
No, go ahead.
The whole thing of evolution, by us looking at ourselves like our ancestors even manifested with the Sphinx, Hurra-Makhet, the head of a man in the body of a lion.
That's right.
What that just symbolizes, we have an animal nature within us. When we out here killing, we want to live a savage life. We want to bang out 10 shorties in a week. You feel what I'm saying? That's an animal nature in us. But that doesn't mean, you understand what I'm saying, we evolved from animals. You understand what I'm saying? And that whole theory of evolution, thinking that we originated from animals, is one of the reasons we out here acting crazy and murdering each other like that.
Darwin's theory.
That whole Darwin theory. We shoot that down. And like even in here, I show and prove how Darwin's theory came out right after the Dred Scott case,
That's right.
when they said we were 3/5 of a human being. And these Europeans, they were aware of the origins in Africa. You feel me?
Right.
So yeah, it's a lot, bro. I try to just relate things to now.
Facts.
You know?
Facts. Most definitely. Wow, that's dynamite in there. So we speak about the black woman in this book.
Definitely.
Because the black woman is the one who's gonna pick this up and give it to her.
There's
babies.
a subchapter called "The Key to the Throne," which is the goddess black woman. She's the key to the throne.
Yes, sir.
And all throughout African history, you couldn't rule unless you either married into the royal family or unless you were from the royal family.
Yes.
But it was the queen mother or the queen sister who actually determined who would rule.
Yes, sir.
And
yes,
I got
sir.
Anzinga. Anzinga is mentioned there, showing to prove how she stood up against the Portuguese to stop slavery. Also, Kempa Vita. Kempa Vita was also from the Kingdom of Congo. Many people may not know about Kempa Vita, but she also stood up against slavery, and she fought against the Portuguese, and they ended her. And also Queen Ya Asantewaa.
Ashe.
She's mentioned in there, and even Henrietta Lacks. You know what I'm saying? I even talk about Henrietta Lacks and how her cells are immortal. So definitely, you know what I'm saying?
This is our story book.
Yeah, definitely,
Not
bro.
a his story book, but this is our story.
It's our story. I mean, you know what? Before we end, like I say, real history is everyone's history because the original man and original woman in Africa populated everything, populated this whole world. So you can't have real history without starting with Africa.
Ashe.
You understand what I'm saying? But the root of it starts in Africa, and that's what we do.
That's dope. Well, there you have it, y'all. Come and get this book.
Children of the Stars. Seeds of an Eternal Legacy.
That's right. Go get this book and let's do group studies. You know, let's have a study group. And in fact, I dare you to go get the book and find something wrong with it and come back to him.
Yeah, you got 300 scholars. You got a challenge. It's over 300. It's over 300 scholars in the bibliography.
That's right.
Over 300 scholars. So
that's
you
right.
Feel me?
So if he wrong, they wrong. You know what
that's
I'm saying?
300 people. Right.
If he wrong, they wrong. But you know, this was a Khemetic Ascendants program, and again, I'm thankful for not just my brother showing up, but taking the time to give us something that we know we all need. I'm gonna say that man is mind, and what's on our mind determines who we are. You know, so let's just start thinking about what it is those we put into our subconscious of thinking. Until then, peace and love, black power. Ashe.
Peace.